everybody, this is John for mtgotavern with episode 2 of Daily Burn Leagues. This is in addition to the Is It Prowess Leagues we are doing. As a friendly reminder, if you do like modern content, especially of the red-based variety, please consider subscribing to the channel, as we aim to be the most informative modern channel on YouTube before Magic. So this is the recent Boros Burn list that top-aided the recent Super Qualifier for Modern. A little bit unique in that it's a Lurrus the Dream Den Bauble deck. Something a lot of people have not been very high on in Burn for some time, especially since the Companion nerf. I have mixed feelings about Lurrus. Like, there was a time where revealing Lurrus would kind of give away the kind of nature of the deck you're playing. Nowadays, if you play a Lurrus, people are going to expect you're on some type of Death Shadow or Rock or possibly Mill long before they expect you to be on Burn. So, a little bit less of an information giveaway. Although, one's going to tend to load up on creature-based removal when they see Lurrus. Not terribly a big deal, as, Burn, can kind of power through hands of removal and nothing else. But beyond that, you are playing Mishra's Bauble, which is a bit of a card in the deck. Does allow you to do the kind of, check with a fetch land, check what's on the top of your deck, etc. Does give you maybe a little bit of information besides Goblin Guide triggers about what's coming off the top of your opponent's deck. So a little bit of information to be gained, a little bit of card advantage with Lurrus, although Burn generally is not a deck that wants to play a card advantage game. Nevertheless, it's a card that pairs nicely with Monastery Swiftspear, gives you a little bit of information, a little bit of a delayed draw against like Thoughtseize decks and such. One of Seal of Fire is kind of nice, also to be able to play with Lurrus. Beyond that, you're just your typical Boros shell, 4 Swiftspear, 4 Goblin Guide, 4 Eidolon. As far as the non-core burn spells, there's 3 Searing Blaze, 2 Lightning Helix, 2 Skullcrack, 2 Riftbolt, 2 Skewer, kind of where you're making room for your 4 Mishra's Baubles and 1 Seal of Fire is usually out of those slots. When I talk about the core of Burn, I'm talking about these 16 spells, and then 4 Eidolon, 4 Boros Charm are kind of like the de facto cards you'll see in every Burn list, pretty much. And then the number of Helixes, the number of Skullcracks, number of Riftbolts, number of Skewers, number of Blazes, those can vary depending on the meta and the pilot preference. So, beyond that, this list, compared to what I've been running lately, is running the 5th Canopy land in the form of Fiery Islet. So the mana might be a little bit more painful. We'll see how that goes. Sideboard, got some Tormod's, Crypts, and Soul Guide Lantern for any type of graveyard nonsense. So your Dredge decks, etc. Soul Guide Lantern can be decent against decks like Tarmogoyf decks and such, and other Lurrus decks, so not terrible to bring in as a one-of. 3 copies of Path to Exile, pretty important in what's basically become a Death Shadow Heliod meta outside of the control decks. 3 copies of Core Firewalker, pretty decent in any type of red mirrors you expect to run into. 3rd and 4th copies of Skullcrack, good against any type of life gain thing. 1 card missing, notably from this version, is Roiling Vortex, and honestly, obviously playing Mishra's Bauble, you don't want to be playing Roiling Vortex to begin with. But I haven't been that impressed with Roiling Vortex of late when I've been running Burn, so I approve going away from that. 3 copies of Wear Tear. So, Wear Tear is probably one of the more controversial cards in this list besides Bauble. A lot of people like Smash to Smithereens, etc. There's a new card coming in Strixhaven. I believe it's Tearaway, I believe it's called. It's a white and a red sorcery that's a split card. Either destroy target artifact or enchantment, or deal 3 damage to target creature. I think it's largely going to end up replacing Smash to Smithereens and Wear Tear as kind of that slot. A lot of people talk about, it's not that good because it's sorcery speed, it's this, that, or the other thing. It's like, well, if we didn't have access to Wear Tear, would we be playing something like a Braden in the Burn deck? Maybe. People talking about how that card doesn't play around Blood Moon. Honestly, you really don't generally bring in Artifact and Enchantment Instruction against Blood Moon decks if you're expecting that. You're usually bringing in for something like Chalice, which can be a thing in some of those versions. Obviously, Fluffy Wolf's still working on Red Prison, but that's kind of a deck that took a huge hit from the banning of Spirit Guide. So, not terribly worried about Blood Moon. And if you're worried about Blood Moon, you can always board these cards out and board in some number of red spells and whatnot. It's a card you can generally sideboard around when you expect your opponent to leave it in against you for whatever reason. That said, let's get into some matches and see how Lurrus of the Dream Den fares in this league. Alright, we're back for match number 1. Do apologize for the fan in the background. It's quite warm right now, so got to have a fan running upstairs even in the night. It's quite warm. This hand's a little bit awkward, but I think with double Mishra's Bauble, we're likely to hit a second land drop, and with Goblin Guide, I'm pretty fine with this hand overall. Cap 7. They are not a Lurrus deck. Okay, they're an Ether Vial deck. Dear Furk. I'm curious as to what's going on over there. Twilight Mire. I have no idea, so we're just going to stop that during our upkeep. So it's drawing a bunch of lands. Wall of Roots. Okay, so we're up against Yawg combo. That makes a little bit more sense now. Land drop. Land drop. Does whatever a land drop does. Birds of Paradise, sure. Block. Damage happen. Away some of their mana. Been a minute since I've seen Yawg combo. You have a bird too? Oh, goose. One of the few matchups where goose is better than bird. Good grief. Okay. Then they have Twilight Mire in hand and bird. They're drawing bird. Okay. Starting a Root Geast. Opponent possibly repping Court here. Is there really much we can do about it? Not particularly. Charles Messenger, sure. Would say that's difficult for them to cast, but it's really not, so. So what are the odds we can burn our opponent out here? So they can just vial that in. Okay, why are they not vialing that in? Oh. Okay, well, that's a problem. This is infinite, correct? Okay. Our opponent's going for it. Basically, our opponent's alternating the Undying triggers with the Yawg, which allows them to deal 2 damage for every 2 life they spend. So I don't understand this partial... Let's go ahead and do this. This might encourage them to go for the combo. Good night, sweet prince. Alright. So, Path Exile, somewhat relevant. Skullcrack? I don't think Skullcrack is relevant in this. It's been a minute since I've seen Yawgmoth. In Physician. Sideboard, they can have any number of things. Especially being a cord, whatchamacallit deck. So Skullcracks weren't necessarily terrible. Tormod's Crypts and Soul Guide Lantern isn't necessarily terrible, although these are considerably less important than these. Eidolons can come out against the Ether Vial deck. Boros Charms could also potentially come out. The problem with like the graveyard stuff is like, yes, their combo requires the graveyard, but they do have like other backup ways to kill us that don't involve the graveyard. So, guess we'll kind of do the coward split here. What is going on? There we go. Not the best hand, not the worst hand. Got some interaction. We don't have any early creature pressure, but okay, that's definitely a vile hand. We could, like, conceivably bring in... that was dumb. I should have played Bauble first there. Because that would allow us to kind of filter our own draws. Okay, they're drawing a bird, sure. Starting over a Geezer. other creatures. Like, obviously birds is scary if they specifically have... Oh, they just have Gilded Goose, sure. So they have Gilded Goose and bird. Card's ironically just good against us. Okay, so no Yawgmoth. We know they have bird. Why are they not... Let's go ahead and do this. See if they, like, play a Geist or something. You have a Yawgmoth, sure. So we'll force their hand with the activation to make a food. Okay, sure. So we know these two are two of the cards in their hand currently. Yep. Why are they not playing bird? Okay. There you go. You figured out the strategy there, my friend. Okay, Eidolon's a joke. Let that drain happen, I'm fine with that. Sure. Sure. This gives them an opportunity to crack their thing, which is, once again, annoying, but also fine. Once again, just kind of clearing their board as best as we can. Currently don't have any combo pieces. Messenger's annoying. Not gonna lie, that's actually very annoying. Trigger, give them a land. Yeah, this doesn't matter because it comes into play tapped. Buy the Lurrus, which does put us in danger of, if they draw something, we could potentially die here. But okay, sure. Goose is annoying. I'd crack that food right now. There we go. You figured it out. One spell each turn. Cool. Since I'm attacking here. It's actually kind of annoying. I thought that was non-creature spell, but no, it's just one spell. Yep, looks like we're dead. Sure, let's go get the Yawg. I think they have just enough to kill us here. Alright. So with Eidolon, do I bring in the Weretears? That's an interesting question. Maybe over one of the Boros charms it's fine. Just because it tags Eidolon and tags Ether Vial now. Does seem a little extreme, but we'll go with it. Once again, Eidolon kind of meh against a Ether Vial deck. Guess I'd love to play first. This hand's pretty good. It's always got the Ether Vial. Again, could burn spells for shits and giggles, but probably shouldn't have actually played the fetch land. Maybe I was supposed to play Sacred Foundry there. Waller Roots here would be my guess. Yep, that's fine. Do that to thin the deck a little bit, while also turning on Searing Blaze during our turn. Do. See if they block. What does our opponent have here? Sure. Could our opponent combo from here? I don't think so. Okay, Colony Garden, sure. That one's slightly annoying. Sure. attack? Do you block? Sure. Maybe they have, like, I don't know, I think we have Grim Lavamancer or something, which I guess would make some sense. Sure. Do you have Yawg? Okay. Obstinate Baloth. Okay, hopefully nothing too screwy happens this turn. Sure. They have 3 in, they have 3 in, nothing we can do about it. Still think we attack in. Need a creature. Apparently not. Do you have Yawg? Do you have the Yawg? Apparently not. Sure. It's probably the card they just drew. Bauble would be a nice draw. Yeah, I screwed that up. Cord for 1. Sure. Internal land. Alright, if you got the combo, I'm dead. And we got there. Nice. Tricky matchup to navigate, mostly because I haven't played it much.